Precision Signs in Austin, Minnesota has 3 Chariot bucket trucks and 2 Elliott L65s. The Chariots tackle the smaller installs and most of the service work, keeping unnecessary miles off the Elliots, which are more expensive to purchase and more costly to operate. Even on jobs requiring an Elliott's craning ability, one of the Chariots typically go along as a helper rig because the workport boxes are stocked with every tool and fastener imaginable, and because a second lift is often required on bigger jobs. Today, Matthew Boyer, Precision's installation manager, is performing an experiment. They need to install 2 large pan faces in a John Deere pylon sign. Each face is roughly 9 feet by 9 feet and weighs between 150 and 200 pounds. The question is, could they have left the Elliott back at the shop? Can the Chariot bucket, with its accessories, tackle a job like this by itself? Certainly, it's nearing the edge of its capabilities, but with a 400-pound bucket capacity, it's feasible for a 200-pound installer to put up a 200-pound face. The question is, can it be done safely? And can it be done efficiently? The accessory that Matthew is trying out today is the Chariot Jib Attachment. The jib is quickly attached and provides an elevated lifting eye for signage that is more easily hung from above than supported from beneath. In this case, the sign faces are too tall to rest on the Chariot's lower forks. The installer wouldn't be able to see or reach over the top. Notice how they've leaned the sign face against the jib. To protect the vinyl from being scratched, we've attached the same material they use on boat docks to keep boats from being scratched. On the first face, Matthew didn't use a strap, but simply used a clevis to connect the lifting eye on the sign to the lifting eye on the jib.
Try this out. We'll see if I like it. If not, I'll get a 2-foot strap.
The Chariot now has variable speed up and down, so Matthew can choose a pace that's comfortable. Now, check this out. Since the jib is attached to the Chariot's rotation system, Matthew can square up the face to the sign no matter how he's parked. Once he has the sign face square, a simple foot brake locks the rotation in place. From here, it's just a matter of feathering the face into position. Once Matthew had installed a couple of screws at the top of the face, he disconnected the jib, then rotated it off to the side, moving it out of the way so he could finish installing the screws along the outer edge of the sign. When Matthew returned to the ground, he'd been in the air for a total of 21 minutes and 4 seconds. Here's what he had to say about his first face install with the Chariot's jib attachment.
How would you do this otherwise, or how have you been doing it in the past?
So in the past, 2 different ways you can do it is with a load line, you take some clamps at the top and you strap to those clamps because there's not really lifting points normally. And then from there, you gotta, in a sense, once you get it up there with the load line and the crane, you gotta screw the bottom in, go up top, unclip and push the top and then screw the top in. And it gets in the way with having those clamps. It doesn't just fit right on like it's supposed to. Or the other way you can do is have your feet out your basket on the bottom, and then you are struggling to reach either side, or you can't reach the top and you're just kind of guessing.
Yeah.
So it's a very, this is not an easy face to install, but adding that lifting eye there and using the jib attachment, it's right there in front of me. I can screw my top in, unhook, then go screw my rest in. I know it's not going anywhere. It's a hinge on the top, so it's designed to hang that way. Having that singular lifting point away from, so you can shoebox on, really helps. So that 2 things, adding that, and then utilizing the jib attachment on either one. And realistically, yeah, Elliott could have probably done it too, but this is a smaller footprint truck, you know, less fuel economy run. Everything's easier run, and I ultimately, why run a bigger truck when I don't have to?
Right.
So,
right.
And the fact that I can get large things done with a smaller truck is incredible, you know.
So what are you going to do different on the second side?
Second side, I'm going to put a 2-foot strap to lower it down a little bit, so I'm more above the face, and I can screw in a little bit easier.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to try to do.
Awesome.
Let's see how the 2-foot strap performs with the jib on this tall, wide sign face. This side was even easier than the first because the short strap made it easier for Matthew to move the face into position. As before, Matthew can now move the jib out of the way and finish installing the screws along the outer edges of the sign. This time he was in the air for a total of 9 minutes and 51 seconds. That's amazingly quick for such a large face.
Ultimately, I'd say, you know, this saves me an hour in time. You know, being able to put that face up by myself, such a large face, 9 foot by 9 foot, you can't reach around any of that. You can't grab it anywhere. You know, to have an overhead lift that's nice and close. It has your work area right in front of you, and is with a 200-pound capacity. That does a lot of things that you can't reach your arms around. So ultimately, you know, this, in a sense, replaces the smaller crane lifts that I don't need a crane for anymore. So, yes, we'll be using this much more in the future.
Could they have left the Elliott back at the shop? Yes. I asked Matthew how the Chariot's jib compares to the jib on the Elliott.
We got it a while back when you guys were experimenting with it, and I don't think we really knew what to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because ultimately we always thought, well, for any sort of jib to be useful, it needs to be way above your head. Like another, you know, typically a crane's way above your head for the load line. But the more I get to, I'm familiarized with jib work, I see how this jib is very functional in the needs that I have, and it keeps your work close to you. You don't need a load line. You know, you set your truck up, you lean it up against it, you hop in there and you hook it up. So it eliminates the need for the load line. You don't necessarily need a load line. It works great.
Your second guy was really just to
get the sign
take it off the truck, right?
Yeah, the second guy to get it off the truck. And that's for the larger things you can't handle yourself as well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Good.
I don't have much else. I mean, it worked great. Did exactly what it was supposed to do.
You heard it. The Chariot just received a license to fly solo on jobs like this. The Chariot Bucket Truck, simplifying sign work.